Hey, Steelers Nation. We're back with an exclusive video packed with the latest updates on our beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll never miss any exclusive updates or exciting Steelers news. Tyreek Hill's move to the Steelers is sending shockwaves through the NFL world, and honestly, it might just be the boldest gamble in franchise history. Imagine the sheer audacity. The fastest player in the league, one of the most electric receivers to ever lace up cleats, suddenly donning black and gold. The whispers started small, just murmurs among insiders and on sports talk shows, but as the story developed, it became impossible to ignore. Rumors suggest the Steelers pulled out all stops, creating a contract so monumental that it breaks records across the league. For a team that has long struggled to find that explosive, game-changing presence in the passing game, Hill represents not just a player, but a potential cultural shift. Analysts are buzzing, fans are speculating, and social media is exploding with every imaginable scenario. Could this be the final piece Pittsburgh has been missing for years? Or is it a high-stakes move that risks more than it promises? Either way, the narrative is gripping, and the Steelers have certainly guaranteed they will be the talk of every sports broadcast for months to come. The numbers alone are enough to make anyone do a double take. The reported length of the deal is 3 years, but it is the financials that are truly staggering. Sources hint at guaranteed money that surpasses any previous wide receiver contract in Steelers history, and possibly even challenges some of the top deals in NFL history. When you consider the salary cap and the way the league structures these contracts, it seems almost reckless, yet undeniably thrilling. Executives from rival teams are rumored to be stunned, some reportedly shaking their heads at the audacity, others quietly wondering how they can compete. But the Steelers' front office seems unwavering, convinced that Hill's combination of speed, route running, and playmaking ability is worth every cent. Fans are already imagining deep passes stretching defenses thin, highlight reel touchdowns, and an entirely new identity for a team that has often relied on grit and defense rather than pure offensive explosiveness. The speculation alone is enough to send ticket sales and merchandise into overdrive, creating a media frenzy that seems impossible to contain. Beyond the numbers, the impact on team dynamics is equally tantalizing. Hill's arrival could redefine how the Steelers approach both offense and strategy. Quarterbacks will now have a true deep threat, forcing opposing defenses to rethink schemes and personnel. Coaches are reportedly recalibrating practice plans, considering formations and plays that maximize Hill's unprecedented speed. Teammates have been spotted in speculative social media posts, reacting with a mixture of awe and anticipation, hinting at locker room excitement that is rarely seen before a single signing. The ripple effect extends beyond the field, influencing marketing, fan engagement, and even recruitment, as younger players may be drawn to a team willing to make such a headline-grabbing move. In short, Hill is not just a player. He is potentially a catalyst for a transformation the Steelers haven't seen in decades. The rumors alone are creating an atmosphere of anticipation that rivals the most dramatic storylines in sports fiction. The speculation doesn't stop at just on-field performance. There are whispers that this move is part of a larger vision, a multi-year plan by the Steelers' front office to not only compete at the highest level, but to dominate headlines in the process. By investing so heavily in Hill, the team signals a willingness to bet big, to push boundaries, and to embrace a level of risk that could either pay off in spectacular fashion or become a cautionary tale for future executives. Media outlets are already running endless scenarios. How will defenses adapt? Will this trigger other teams to pursue similar marquee signings? Could the presence of a player like Hill attract even more elite talent to Pittsburgh in the coming seasons? Each rumor fuels the next, creating an endless cycle of speculation that keeps fans, analysts, and rivals alike on edge. It is this uncertainty, combined with the sheer talent involved, that makes Hill's potential tenure in Pittsburgh one of the most captivating stories in recent football history. Some insiders have gone even further, suggesting that Hill's arrival could alter how the Steelers draft, trade, and build their roster in the near future. The idea is that one player of his caliber not only changes immediate tactics, but also reshapes long-term strategy. Executives are said to be weighing how complementary pieces can maximize Hill's talents, from offensive linemen who can provide better protection to secondary weapons that stretch the field and exploit defensive adjustments. Rumors abound regarding potential shifts in coaching philosophies, play-calling tendencies, and even team culture, with Hill potentially becoming a central figure in a new era of Pittsburgh football. Fans are eagerly theorizing which players will benefit most, which plays will become staples, and how Hill's speed might redefine what it means to attack the field in modern football. The anticipation is palpable, and while no games have yet been played, the narrative alone is already reshaping expectations, painting a picture of a team poised for something dramatic and unforgettable. Ultimately, the Hill to Steelers story is not just about contracts, stats, or even individual talent. It's about the thrill of possibility, the excitement that comes from a franchise daring to dream bigger than ever before. Rumors continue to swirl about bonus structures, incentives, and clauses that could make this deal even more groundbreaking than initially reported. Analysts speculate endlessly about the potential impact on team chemistry, fan engagement, and even lead dynamics. Everywhere you look, conversations about the Steelers now include Hill as the central figure, the potential spark for a franchise-defining chapter. And while skepticism remains, because in sports, nothing is ever guaranteed, the speculation itself is magnetic, drawing attention and creating narratives that could last far longer than any single season. The Steelers have thrown down the gauntlet, and the NFL world is watching, buzzing, and debating every possible outcome with a mix of awe and disbelief. Now imagine the ripple effects across the league if this signing proves successful. The speculation is already intense, with rival teams reportedly recalculating salary cap strategies and scouting reports. Executives from multiple franchises are said to be holding emergency meetings, trying to determine how to counteract what could become one of the most explosive offenses in modern football. Rumors suggest that Hill's influence could extend beyond just passing attacks, potentially opening the door to more creative schemes, hybrid plays, and even unconventional formations designed to exploit his speed. Fans are theorizing how a single elite player can change a franchise's identity, turning Pittsburgh from a historically defense-first team into an offensive juggernaut. The media is frenzied, analysts are debating endlessly, and social media is alight with highlight projections that may not even be realistic but are wildly entertaining to imagine. Every new rumor about coaching adjustments, trade possibilities, and strategic shifts adds fuel to the fire, making this one of the most talked-about storylines in recent sports memory. The excitement is amplified by the possibility of legacy implications. Some speculate that Hill joining Pittsburgh could cement the Steelers as a modern-era powerhouse, potentially rivaling dynasties from decades past. Rumors suggest that team leadership is considering ways to leverage Hill not only on the field, but as a brand ambassador, a marquee figure capable of elevating the franchise's profile nationwide. Analysts wonder if this single move could trigger a domino effect, inspiring other high-profile players to consider Pittsburgh a destination for both competition and opportunity. Fans are debating endlessly, imagining how Hill's speed, vision, and versatility might reshape offensive schemes, create highlight moments, and redefine what it means to be a wide receiver in the contemporary NFL. With every passing hour, the speculation grows, the headlines intensify, and the Steelers' narrative becomes impossible to ignore. The story is still unfolding, but one thing is clear. Tyreek Hill to Pittsburgh is not just a signing. It is a seismic event, and the NFL world is watching with bated breath. There's also an undercurrent of intrigue regarding Hill's personal motivations. Rumors abound that he sought a team willing to fully embrace his dynamic style of play, one where he could be featured as the central weapon rather than just a supporting piece. Pittsburgh reportedly fit that vision perfectly, and insiders suggest Hill's decision may have been influenced as much by potential opportunity as by financial terms. Analysts speculate that his presence will force opponents to rethink every defensive alignment, creating challenges that could ripple through the league for seasons to come. Fans are already drawing comparisons to past marquee signings that transformed franchises, imagining what a healthy, motivated, and fully integrated Hill could mean for Pittsburgh's trajectory. Social media is ablaze with projections, wild rumors, and heated debates about how this signing might shape the Steelers' identity. While the contract numbers are jaw-dropping, it is perhaps the sheer potential for game-changing moments, highlight reel plays, and cultural impact that makes this signing so intoxicating to speculate about. The story is evolving, the rumors are multiplying, and Pittsburgh is at the center of one of the most compelling what-if scenarios in sports history. The deal has also ignited speculation about potential cascading effects on other positions. Rumors suggest that offensive coordinators are considering adjusting quarterback reads, designing plays specifically to maximize Hill's explosive speed and route versatility. Discussions are reportedly ongoing about complementary skill players who could benefit from the defensive focus Hill commands, essentially multiplying his impact across the offense. Fans and analysts alike are theorizing how a single elite signing can reshape roster construction, shift drafting priorities, and even influence training approaches. The excitement is almost tangible, with every rumor adding layers of intrigue, from contract structure to playbook adaptations to potential chemistry in the locker room. Hill's presence could force rival teams to make unanticipated moves, creating a domino effect that might extend far beyond Pittsburgh. The speculation alone is rewriting expectations, challenging assumptions, and inspiring debates that blend both strategic insight and pure imagination. In essence, the Hill signing is already a storyline bigger than any single season, a rumor that has the potential to define an era in Pittsburgh football. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Finally, the narrative extends to the intangible effects: morale, identity, and fan culture. Rumors suggest that the excitement around Hill has already energized the Steelers' fan base in ways that few players ever achieve. Ticket demand, merchandise sales, and social media engagement are reportedly soaring, creating an atmosphere of anticipation and speculation that feels almost electric. Analysts speculate on how this signing could influence future free agent decisions, the franchise's reputation, and even league-wide trends in marquee player acquisitions. Fans are debating endlessly about potential highlights, historic milestones, and whether Hill can transform Pittsburgh into a perennial contender. Every rumor, every insider tip, every speculative headline adds to a swirling narrative that is part legend, part possibility, and all-consuming. In short, Tyreek Hill to the Steelers is not just news. It is a phenomenon, a rumor that has already reshaped expectations, ignited imaginations, and created one of the most talked-about stories in professional football history. Some sources suggest that Metcalf's relationship with referees might now be under more scrutiny, with speculation that any perceived disrespect, even if subtle, could result in closer monitoring in future games. Analysts hint that referees are acutely aware of players' reputations, and Metcalf's high-profile altercation could lead to increased scrutiny of his actions, both on the field and during interactions with opponents. There's also conjecture that this could affect game day dynamics, with opponents possibly attempting to provoke or unsettle Metcalf, knowing that his intensity might lead to distractions or penalties. Fans are theorizing endlessly about how Metcalf might respond, whether he will demonstrate restraint, acknowledge the incident publicly, or continue to embrace the persona of a fearless, untamed competitor. Sports media coverage has amplified every detail, turning a brief verbal confrontation into a full-blown narrative of tension, personality, and rivalry. Some insiders speculate that Metcalf's approach to this situation could define his public persona for the remainder of the season, influencing everything from on-field matchups to off-field media interactions. The layers of speculation are dense, ranging from psychological analysis to strategic implications, with observers predicting that the consequences of this incident will unfold over multiple weeks, keeping fans, analysts, and league officials on high alert. Finally, speculation continues to mount that DK Metcalf's verbal clash with a Cowboys player may spark new rivalries, inspire further psychological strategies among opponents, and reshape perceptions of sportsmanship in the NFL. Sources suggest that if Metcalf's intensity is left unchecked, it could encourage similar confrontations in future games, potentially influencing league policies on in-game behavior and conduct. Meanwhile, fans are divided, with some celebrating his fearless approach and others concerned that this could lead to escalation, both verbally and physically, in high-stakes matchups. Analysts are speculating that Metcalf's response in the coming weeks, whether through statements, actions, or his gameplay, will be crucial in determining whether this incident becomes a defining moment in his career or a temporary, albeit highly publicized, flare-up. Inside the Seahawks organization, there are whispers that team leadership may implement measures to channel Metcalf's energy productively, balancing his competitive edge with the expectations of professionalism demanded by the league. The narrative now encompasses far more than a single verbal exchange. It has evolved into a story about personality, strategy, rivalry, and the delicate balance between passion and control in the NFL. As speculation grows, one thing is clear. DK Metcalf's recent actions have captivated the football world, and the next chapters in this saga are eagerly awaited by fans, commentators, and league officials alike. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.